All right, folks. Through the technical difficulties, we're a little later than we thought we would be, but don't worry about it, folks. It's about to go down. But before it goes down, we got to do it like this. All right, folks. We are back again. Me and Dusty are going to make it happen no matter what, folks. Hope y'all stick with me. And like I said the first time, I'm going to say it again. We got a guest coming, but I got to do it like this, folks. From the West Coast to the East Coast and everything between, folks. From Eve After Dark to concerts in the park, you're live with your boy Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop. We do it like this every Tuesday. Most of the time a little earlier, but today, hey, we're gonna tell you, things is popping. Dusty, I see you.
Lonzo, I'm having deja vu, man. I feel like we've done this before.
I think so too. How you feeling now?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. I know you've been ripping and running today, man. How was your day?
Man, got a call last week. There's a display coming up for a few months called the Hip Hop Till Infinity. It's over on Sunset and right off of Ivar. And they wanted some stuff from World Class Wrecking Crew. And we cut a deal, and they wanted to get some extra stuff. So I had to run to Hollywood and run back. I left home at 3:30. I'll be back. That's 2.5 hours. I could make it back then. Shit. If I could have got to the restroom, I had to find the restroom. That's the only thing slowed me. I could have been here by 6, man, but I had to find the restroom, Doc. I'm like a big old kid. I don't hit the road unless I go first. So anyway, we took care of that. And
all gravy. Hey, I have a question about that, actually, Lonzo. When you loan your personal items to a museum, when one loans their items to a museum, how does it work with the insurance? Like, do you sign stuff saying that if anything happens to it, they're responsible? Yes. What's the behind the scenes stuff going into that?
They send me a copy of the insurance policy. I send them a list of the items that I'm submitting, and then we agree upon the value. I usually set the value, and if something happens, I got to cut me a check. Simple as that.
Okay. Good stuff. Yeah, because I went to the Tupac
most people
museum recently, and I was wondering how that works with all these personal items. Go ahead.
Yeah, most of them will pay you to put some. Well, I usually get some kind of compensation for loaning my stuff out. I got 2 displays right now. I got one in Compton. I got one over in one in Compton's about to wrap up on the 20th of this month, and the one in the Hollywood opens up Friday. So it's all good.
Nice. Well, we got a lot to talk about, Lonzo, and we also have a guest coming on later tonight, Los Angeles, a rapper from LA. He has an interesting story. He's worked with Eazy-E, a lot of the greats. He was signed to Ice-T, so he has a very interesting story. But we also have a lot to talk about. But before we even get into that, I want to ask you guys, if any of you really want to support the channel, please go to Amazon Prime right now and check out Lonzo's documentary on Eve After Dark. Finally on Amazon Prime. It's a great watch. I watched it again last night with my lady, especially from a West Coast hip hop standpoint. You get the full story of some of the earliest memories of West Coast hip hop and the legendary club Eve After Dark. And it's only $4.99. So please go to Amazon Prime right now and run those numbers up.
Now that's to buy it. Now you can watch it for $1.99. You can just rent it for $2.99. But most of my friends are buying it, man. That's
yeah, I bought it.
I appreciate that, man. I just got a lady friend of mine just called me while we were waiting to come back online, and she's called me. Oh, it was so nice. That was so great. I really appreciate it. Can I do a reel for you? Yes, you can. So yeah, I've got nothing but rave reviews about it, man. I've been in about 3 different film festivals, and if they were giving out prizes, I probably would have won. But the film festival we did last year, the Pan African here in California, we were asked to do a second screening because our first screening was so well attended. We were asked to do a second screening that following Sunday. We still had about a half full house on the second screening. So the documentary definitely has a mass appeal to it, and folks are digging it, man. We went to Sacramento late last year for Kevin Johnson's film festival, and blew everybody away, man. It was just, dude. I sold books. It was a great move.
Yeah, man. It was great watching it a second time by myself in the comfort of my own home. We have a lot to talk about, and I'm definitely going to promote that throughout the show. So check it out. I've seen a couple people said they already bought it. Thank you guys so much. The biggest story this week, Lonzo, has had the internet on fire. KATT Williams. KATT Williams went viral this week for calling out several comedians, exposing a lot of stuff about the industry. The interview happened on Shannon Sharp's show, Shay Shay. The interview has, well, damn near 50 million views. That's like almost unheard of. That's literally unheard of. But what are your thoughts on KATT Williams, man? And I know you have a KATT Williams story also, but break down what you thought, when all this KATT Williams stuff came out this week.
Yeah, usually I don't watch podcasts especially one almost 3 hours long. Last Friday, I got up. Sometimes I get up early, 5:30. I said, I got time. I ain't got nowhere to be. Ain't nobody going to call me. I'm going to watch the documentary. Watch his podcast. And I'm glad I did, man. KATT is an interesting dude. Very interesting dude. Some of the things he was saying, I'm like, how many books you read, though? How many, some of the things kind of, you left home at 13 and you was hitchhiking? Were you really? Okay. So some things I have to, maybe chalk up to embellishment. I'm not sure. But again, he said it. I can't verify. I can't say he didn't do it. But the way he checked so many comedians and brought the curtain down on so many people's careers and how people steal, how people borrow without permission, how people are not as successful as you think they are. When he talked about Big Boy, Faith on Love, never had a special. I'm like, no shit, he never had a special. Yeah. Now he's been on comedy shows, but I've never seen him do a special. We talked about his Cedric the Entertainer story, and I remember KATT doing that scene, doing that. Same here. At Pete, was sitting in the chair, and doing the old man in the car thing, whatever. And I remember seeing Cedric do the same thing. It didn't register that it came from KATT first, but again, to see how people are busted and still won't cop. That's the part that really about. You know what? Say something, but dude, you're busted. This is the digital age. The man got video. We all got video. We see that this shit here, Steve Harvey and Hang with Mr. Cooper. That was the same show. That was the same show, only with Steve Harvey in it. The suits, the whole thing about him having a sexual tension between him and his Bryce principal, same show. So it was cool. Dude, I can appreciate for where he come from, and and here's something else, man. I got to say this. KATT Williams, he was at the Hollywood Park Casino. He had just was leaving when I got there, but I would pass by. I had a club in Inglewood, Current Affair, on Manchester and Eucalyptus. I'd pass by the Hollywood Park Casino on a regular basis, going to work, going to the club, leaving home. And KATT would he'd have a room. He had a room up there, his own room for years at Hollywood Park Casino. But he was KATT in the Hat then. He was KATT in the Hat. And right before he started, when he did Fridays, that's when he disappeared and started doing his own thing. Okay. Friday was his first movie. In fact, I would see him at the casino and no front teeth. I seen him a few times. He had no front teeth. He got them teeth fixed when he got Friday. Okay. He got a little money, went to the dentist, got hooked up. My KATT Williams story. I worked with KATT on a movie. If you go, I just looked at it last night to make sure it was still up there. If you look at a movie called American Bad Boy, KATT Williams, Oba Babatunde, a few other brothers are in there. I'm in the movie too. If you sneeze, you're gonna miss my ass. I'm the DJ in the movie. Okay. I talked to Karen White. She's looking for one of the dancers. I'm playing my music, blah, blah, blah. She walk up, ask me a question or two. I'm trying to hit on her, and she ain't paying me no attention. But in my IMBD, they have me down the set as the location manager because the whole movie was shot in my club for the most part. When you see KATT Williams sitting behind the desk, that's my desk. Okay, you'll see my tie on the doorknob of the desk. Okay, it's my desk. My printers on. I looked at it last night just to refresh myself. And they even used turn off the lights in one of the scenes for the dancers. I see you, OG Steve. I see you, baby. Much love to you. My Katt Williams story was kind of interesting because when Katt came to do the movie, I'd seen Katt around before. I don't recall ever working with Katt at my club, but I've seen him around. We don't have a relationship per se, but when you see in LA, it's so small. When you see Katt, you might not know him, but hey, what's up, man? What's up? What's up? So like, when Katt came to work at the club, he was a cool dude. Came in, kicked it. Hey, hi, my brothers, how y'all doing today? Everybody cool, blah, blah, blah. And we shoot the shit. And we sitting there kicking it just like I'm talking to y'all right now. And the next day, Katt come back to the set. He acted like he didn't know nobody. Didn't want to talk to nobody. Had a couple of had this one little skinny dude supposed to have been a bodyguard all of a sudden, and you can't talk to Katt. I'm like, huh? Now you were behind my desk in my office, and I can't tell you what to do or how to do what had to be done. Y'all got this fucked up. So, but what was really funny, the second day he came with this little dude supposed to be a bodyguard. We in the hood. Avalon no Segundo, even after dark. And he came with 3 girls. And these 3 girls followed him around like his shadow. In fact, me and some of the guys from the production crew called them Katt and the Kittens. Okay? Because they just followed him around everywhere. And he went Money Mike on him a couple times. Bitch, don't talk to no nigga when I'm talking when you see me here. I mean, he went Money Mike on him. He didn't slap nobody, but he was talking shit to him because one of the girls spoke to somebody. I knew somebody. Bitch, you don't know nobody when you're with me. You don't know nobody but me. And it was like, okay, it's like that. The movie is, it was produced by Oba Ababatunde. Like I said, I just saw yesterday I think it was on Roku. It's on Roku.
It's on Tubi also.
Okay, Tubi. Okay, might have been Tubi too. It was cool. Wasn't no big deal. I don't have no problem with Katt. I have more friends. I probably have more friends that are comedians than I do rappers. I mean, rappers. My comedian friends, they'll answer the phone. Katt's not one of them, but Katt has been known to give out money. In fact, my boy Ernest from the French Quarters, I was DJing there a little while ago, and he had told me several Katt Williams stories. After Katt blew up, he just walk up and stick $5,000 in his pocket because he used to play at his club back in the day. He would just stick $5,000 in his pocket. I love you, man. Here you go, baby. And just keep on walking like it was nobody's business. And he was a different kind of dude. I remember that when we was doing the movie, he brought his motorcycle to the set. Now, Katt ain't that tall. Katt like 5'3", 5'4". He could barely touch his feet could barely touch the ground on the motorcycle. And he laid it down a couple of times. We had to run the movie, but they had to go out and pick it up for him. Okay. Now he was a little diva, but he wanted to have his own dressing room. Hey man, he's a star. But he had his personality tends to sometimes go back and forth. And that's what I experienced with him. He was kind of, he was cool one day, next day he didn't know nobody. He was on some bodyguard shit with his cat and the kittens. He went to Money Mike. Maybe he was in character for the movie. I don't know, but that's my Katt Williams story.
Dude, I've known you for about 6 years, man, and you always pop up with these stories, bro.
Dude, I was telling somebody the other day, I'm doing my second documentary right now. We're about to wrap that up. N.W.A. That was out of Lonzo. Okay, it's been in production about 4 years, but we after we got so much headway with this Eve After Dark documentary, we kind of pushing to get this second one done. And my producer said the same thing. He said, "Man, what don't you do?" And sometimes, oddly enough for me, in my mind, I compartmentalize shit. Okay. I put old club shit over here, Eve After Dark over here, Doodles over here, Record Crew shit here. And until somebody rattle that chain, I might not think about it no more. I had a girl group that I produced when I was at Doodles. Well, actually, Dre produced it, but it was on my label. It was going to be on my label called Fresh Flesh. I had forgot all about Fresh Flesh They were at Dudos. They might have performed 2 or 3 times at Dudos. They were my version of the hip hop Vanity 6. 2 sisters, nice bodies, can rap okay, and I had them performing in campus halls like Vanity 6 at Dudos. I hadn't thought nothing about them till one of the sisters hit me on Facebook. She saw Straight Outta Compton and called me up highly upset. Lonzo, how they gonna do you like that? Blah, 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 blah. And I forgot all about them. Totally forgot about her and her group. I haven't seen them in years. And when she started talking to me, she started bringing back things that I kind of slipped my mind, how they were my first female group, and her and Dre used to date. So she got some behind the scenes stories about Dre when he got arrested. That time when he got arrested, she says, I was with him when he got arrested. I had to drive his car home so they wouldn't impound it. So these are stories that I forgot that we're going to tell on the other documentary that we couldn't tell on the first documentary.
Love that. I love that. Fresh flesh. Try saying that 3 times. Fresh flesh. Fresh.
Yeah, I spit all kind of shit saying that.
Flap flop.
I get the
all right.
I spit on all kind of shit. Go ahead.
Let's keep it pushing, man. Something else that I wanted to talk to you about, man. I thought about you as soon as I saw this, Lonzo. A viral video. A video went viral of a group of young girls, young black girls. That is the most important part of this, in my opinion. Young black girls who couldn't be no more than 5 or 6 singing a sexy red song. The lyrics these young ladies were singing, for anyone who hasn't, and dancing to, go something like this. Bend that ass over. Let that coochie breathe. Hands on your knees. Hands on your knees. Shake that ass for Drake. Shake that ass for me. Now, I'm almost 50. I like the song. I like Drake. I kind of like the song. In a club when I'm surrounded by adults and I'm with my girl chilling. But to see 5-year-olds dancing to this, no matter if it was the edited version or not, didn't sit well with me. Lonzo, what say you?
I was highly upset, Doc. I tell you, the term and the legal ramification for all of this shit is contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Okay? Nobody wants to be responsible for anything anymore. Nobody wants to be responsible. The kids can do what they want to. The parents can't say shit. They can run in. They can go to Compton, drive cars in the bakeries. They can steal goddamn headstones off of people's graves and sell the goddamn brass. They can do whatever they want to. There's no repercussions, dude. Parents can allow their kids to dance to that. I saw the video. Little heifer just boogieing like a son of a gun. And that ain't cute. Who's holding the video camera? Who's holding the video camera, and why did that shit get put on YouTube? Again, nobody's responsible. Nobody's driving the goddamn car. Everybody's in the back seat having a good time. And one thing about a car, although it may have cruise control, that's something that you go off the road in a minute. It's only good for when you're holding your hands on the steering wheel. Somebody got to hold the wheel. And it just amazes me, man, that when you say something like this, people want to justify it. It's entertainment. It's okay. No, it's not. Everything ain't okay. And just because somebody makes some money, don't make them your friend. Just because somebody makes money, don't make them your friend. And that's something I've always stood on. I will always stand on it. And that's just something that just irks me to no end to see how these generations will perpetuate this type of lifestyle on the next generation and think it's cute. They think it's cute. Yeah, you see that again. No, that ain't cute. That ain't cute. Okay? She ended up 9 years old with a baby, and then now you go through. Now what you gonna do? Okay? And you have so many generations that will perpetrate this kind of activity under the heading of entertainment. It ain't always entertainment. Sometimes it's brainwashing. Sometimes it's indoctrination. It could be all kind of things, but it ain't entertainment. It ain't just entertainment. Go ahead, Doc.
Man, breaking it down. The song is called Rich Baby Daddy. Now, I would love your thoughts on this because it kind of correlates. I've never been a fan of the terms baby mama, baby daddy. I'll use them in satire and stuff like that if I'm joking with my friends. But when I refer to my son's mother, I refer to her as my son's mother. What are your thoughts on baby daddy, baby mama, the terms? And when did you, because you're older than me, obviously, when did you notice that coming into play? Because that just kind of crept in, the baby mama.
You know what? I think it crept in about the late 90s, man. That's my daughter's mom. Okay. And that's my mom. That's my daughter's mom. And baby daddy, Oh, well, it's almost a ghetto term, dude. It's a ghetto term that we adopted like so many other things. And it became so commonplace. Nobody paid no attention till it starts to rub you the wrong way, you know? Because it does have a ghetto-esque connotation about it. Baby mama, baby daddy, and it don't feel right. But again, if that's all you know, we both sound like two idiots. That's all you know, and that's the problem. Some people, that's all they know is baby mama, baby daddy. It don't bother them. When you know different, when you know better, you do better.
Yeah. Now, before we continue, like I said, say this throughout the show. If you really want to support the channel, please go to Amazon Prime right now and check out Lonzo's documentary on Eve After Dark. It's finally on Amazon Prime. You can either watch it for $2.99, or you can buy it for $4.99. Please go to Amazon Prime and run those numbers up. It's a great documentary. A couple of things that I wanted to talk with you about, Lonzo, before we talk with our guest tonight, Los Angeles rapper out of Los Angeles with a very interesting story. Once again, I thought about you when I heard this. Lil Nas X is releasing a song this week where he is playing none other than Jesus Christ. Talk to me, Lonzo. Lil Nas X, man. He went from devil to Jesus Christ.
Man, this is what happens. This is a perfect example of how there's too much need for content. Okay? And I explained people this before. You have so many platforms. Everybody with a microphone and a set of lips is a podcaster. Me and you both. Okay? Everybody, there's hundreds of streaming channels. You got YouTube. You got all these other streaming platforms, and understand content today. When he does what he does, the sub content of people talking about what he did is more content. Okay, like KATT Williams. KATT Williams, what he did with Shannon Sharp, 30 million plus streams. But people taking clips and making clips of the clips, okay? So everybody got something to say. So you got the reaction videos that are content. So you need controversy. You need controversy to create content in this day and time. And Lil Nas X, he's become a master of it. He lap dance with the devil. Now he's gonna play Jesus and piss some people off, and it's gonna make some content. He's gonna be all over the internet. Everybody wants to go where Shay Shay went now, man. They want to go 30 million plus. KATT Williams raised the bar. He raised the bar by telling the truth. He didn't have to go out of his way. He may have exaggerated a couple things. Like I said, them 3,000 books, that's a lot of books, bro. It's a lot of books. But the comedian thing, I see that. I can see that very possibly happening. Because I've known guys at my club that were squaring off in the parking lot over material. Guys walk up and see somebody doing their shit, man, and it can get real ugly real fast. Oh yeah, I've done just as much in comedy as I've done in hip hop.
Damn.
And last thing you want to do is steal somebody's joke, especially if they're a closing joke. Okay, if it's a closing joke, now I can't close with my own shit. It's like DJs. We used to, me and Roger from Uncle Jam's Army, rest his soul, used to fight over who's gonna play Knee Deep. Flashlight. That's the hottest song of the night. Once you play that, it's like a sexual orgasm. Once you done busted your nut, I'm going to sleep. Okay. Once you done play Flashlight, that's the pinnacle of everything. So if you got a joke, that's your pinnacle of your set. And somebody else is dropping your shit before you get to it, or they dropped it so many times, now people don't know whose it is. That's frustrating. And a good joke is hard to come by. A good joke is hard to come by.
Facts, dude. All right, something else, Lonzo. This made me feel good. Feel good story. We've talked about the negative in the past, unfortunately, so many times. So we got to talk about the positive. Homicides dropped by over 10% in America's biggest cities, including Chicago. I think that's some good news, right?
Yeah. You know how much bullets cost these days? Niggas can't afford to shoot nobody. Have you bought some bullets lately?
Facts, dude. I just bought a box. You are not lying.
Have you bought some bullets lately? Bullets like that, man, $2 a piece nowadays, man. They get shit. Nigga, we better learn to fight. That's real talk, Doc. I mean, I bought some bullets for one of my guns for during the pandemic. I lost a box of bullets, and I went to the little gun shop not far from the pad and got myself stocking up. One day was all out of shotgun shells. All I could get was some bird shot. You can't stop. You can't do nothing with no bird shot and piss somebody off. And but shit, I think I bought like 500 bullets. Cost me like $100 or some shit like that. It was a lot more than what it used to be. Put it that way. Yeah. So yeah. The cost of bullets will make a motherfucker rethink how mad he really is. Go ahead. Learn how to throw some dark.
Someone else said Enrico case is being handed out. That's a good point too.
Come on, man. You know, when you see major players fighting for their lives, shit, it makes you rethink some shit, man. You got major players rethinking their lives. And then the ones you got some that lost their lives already, others fighting for their lives. Okay? You got to rethink your whole position on this so-called thug situation. It's not productive. It's not healthy. It's lead poisoning is the number one cause of death. So you really have to rethink your whole position on this thing, man. I hope it continues to go down.
Yeah, man. I feel you. Now, last thing I want to talk about before we give our guest a call.
He already here. I'm looking at him.
Oh, he is? Okay, cool. Yeah, I told him to stand by till a little bit after 7:30. Arius Spears had a good Vlad TV interview, and he brought up MC Hammer, and he brought up Ice Cube. I'm going to play this in 3 parts, and I'm going to stop it when I would love your reaction. But this is Arius Spears on Vlad TV discussing MC Hammer and commercialism of hip-hop. 1 second. All right, here we go.
Do you remember the backlash against Hammer? Yeah. At the time, it was crazy for doing all the shit that all the rappers want to do today. He had a KFC deal. They talked about this like Jack the Rapper convention or some sort of convention or whatever. And MC Hammer was speaking, and some dude in the audience said, "Man, you dance for chicken." And Hammer responded, said, "No, I dance for money."
All right, I'm going to stop it right there, Alonzo. What are your thoughts so far?
All right, I remember that whole controversy, man. That was how people hated on Hammer was ridiculous. Okay, Hammer was so big, and Hammer had raised the bar so high, they chopped his ass down like a cherry tree in George Washington's backyard because nobody could achieve what he was achieving, and niggas just hated on him. The whole industry hated on him because he was doing what could nobody else do. Him and Will Smith. This is right here. This is right when gangster rap is starting to make pop his head up. Okay, Hammer on the top of the hill, kicking ass and taking names. Gangster rap is struggling, and I remember having conversations in my very own living room about Hammer and how folks was tripping. Well, you making money. Well, first of all, they were mad because he was making money. First of all, okay, he sold out. How did he sell out? Because he got commercials. He danced for KFC. He danced for Pepsi. He got a commercial. He got a television show on Saturday morning, Hammer Man. He got all these things going on. He got these big ass tours. But what you fail to realize is as soon as you signed the contract, you just sold out. You just sold out. You just released all your rights to somebody else. You gave somebody else the right to control your life, your professional life. Hammer did it in a big way. He was making a shitload of money on tour. He took care of a gang of people. He looked out for a lot of folks. I can't get mad at him. I remember he used to be at Macola. I'm sorry. Hammer tried to go on Macola for a while. I remember meeting the brother at Macola, and he ended up getting a deal someplace else. But he came to Macola for a minute, looking to spread his wings over there. But it just at the time, a lot of guys were getting talked out of their careers, and I think Hammer probably Hammer should be highly pissed off because in some ways he got talked out of his career. As long as he was doing Can't Touch This, Let's Pray, Let's Get It Started, he was the man. When he jumped his ass in that jacuzzi, them tight ass draws, how about humps in the bump? Niggas over with. That wasn't a baptismal pool.
And a beanie, my dude. He had a beanie and some draws on, bro.
Oh, man. Nigga, he in the jacuzzi with some deductibles on. How about humps in the bumps? Nope, can't do that. Because you already won. You already won, and now you're trying to appeal to a crowd that don't like you no way. So even if you do what you do, if you try to be one of them, it's disingenuous. They're not going to accept it. And that's what happened. The next thing you know, he ain't got no money. But he still stayed true to his team, and he didn't take people's cars, and he still did what he can do as long as he can do it. I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, it's hard to beat. And here's more of Arius Spears, who is personally one of my favorite comedians, on live TV discussing gangster rap, commercialization of hip hop, MC Hammer, and Ice Cube.
But here's what I'm gonna call bullshit and some hypocritical shit out on Ice Cube and a lot of these hardcore niggas back then. They were jealous and envious of Hammer, like you said, because he was doing what they all wanted to do. A lot of those guys stuck to the guns in terms of I'm street nigga, I'm hood. And then as they got older and they stayed in the business longer, they saw how profitable it was to smile.
Let me tell you.
Smile. All that hardcore shit,
yeah.
The niggas lightened up. Ice Cube.
Ice Cube comedy movies now.
Are we there yet? And it's the same nigga that had Hammer in the trunk, talking about, yo, don't give away our music.
Do you remember?
Talk to me, Lons.
He's absolutely correct, man. It stopped being fun for a while. Everybody was pissed off. Everybody was pissed off at one time. Every label was something related to the law. Death Row, Jury Records, Grand Jury, Death Row, Lynch Mob. Everybody was doing something that was related to the criminal lifestyle. Everybody was mad, but they weren't politically mad. They was like mad at each other, but they wasn't mad. They talk a little shit to the police, but they mostly was killing each other. And that shit made money, but it didn't last long. But now you have a generation that's trying to bring it back or try to keep it going, but they take it to another level. See, when Cube them was doing their thing, they were reporters of the streets. He never said he did this. He was every once in a while he would say, they should never let a crazy motherfucker like me out the penitentiary. Okay, fine. Never been to jail in your life. Okay, we know that's some fantasy shit. But for the most part, it wasn't until later on that people started taking that shit literally. You had the N.W.A, which will tell you in the very beginning, they are reporters of the streets. Okay? And a lot of shit was happening at that time. But most people, and I say this all the time, most people, especially when you're young, you don't know how to validate or vet your people that you're following. So you'll follow anybody based on what they say. You'll follow anybody based on what they say and find yourself brokenhearted later on. Like I used it in my book. People got mad at me because I told them they wanted who they were. That's like telling a kid, ain't no Santa Claus. Well, why did you get mad at the motherfucker that told you there was a Santa Claus? Instead of getting mad at me because I told you it wasn't. And that's the kind of situation you had. Everybody was pretty much non-violent, non-criminal. I can't even call anybody going to jail but Dre. And that was for tickets.
Thank you from Japan. Shout out to Steven 800 something. I don't know what that is, but what 800 something.
Okay.
Hey, somebody look that up and translate that for us. Thank you, Steven.
We
don't want to offend anybody, so we're not going to start guessing.
Whatever it is.
But Japan, good looking out.
Get the shot at me. Yeah, the shit out of me. Okay. I ain't gonna clown.
Big ass red, huh? Like, what the hell is that?
There were Richard Pryor. He had a joke. Yeah, that's a gang money. Okay, I take it though. Much love to you. Thank you very much.
Good looking out. He said it's about $5. We'll take it, my brother.
I ain't mad. It looked impressive though. Shit. It looked impressive.
Yeah, I was like 800. Wait.
Yeah, 800 again. I think that's what it is. Okay,
Thank you.
So yeah, man. When you see people talk about Hammer, and everybody, all they did was did what he did, and just did it a different way. But again, that's one of the problems we have in hip hop is everybody thinks everybody got to do the same thing. Everybody does not have to be a hard motherfucker. Everybody got to do that. And Hammer, the only person that did not buy into the bullshit was Will Smith. They tried to do Will the same way. Will said, fuck y'all. I'm making too much money being a nice guy. Y'all go keep on doing what y'all doing. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep being a nice guy. I'm going to keep doing these summertime songs. I'm going to keep doing these songs that parents like, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to keep on smiling. I'm going to start doing movies. I'm going to do TV. I'm going to do movies. I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to be worth $200 million. And I ain't never shot nobody. Okay? The boy got talent. It's a difference. Go ahead.
Yep. One more thought, Lonzo, from you, and then we're going to bring our guest on, Los Angeles. You once said N.W.A. didn't sell out. They bought in.
Mm-hmm.
Break that down to us.
That's a line I got from my old manager, Swamp Dog. The difference, he says the difference between selling out and buying in. Selling out is when you, buying in is when you strategically do what you do. You do it strategically. Selling out is when you do it by happenstance. Okay, you just happen to fall into something that you just, oh shit, I'm over here, and you don't know what's going on till it's too late. A lot of people sell out and don't realize they sold out till they look at the receipt for your ass. Okay, when you buy in, like, see who can I say who would be a good Will Smith. He bought in. He didn't sell out. He bought in. He knew what he was doing. Okay. He knew what he was doing from the very beginning. He was being groomed, whether I'm not going to get into everything else, but for his career goals, he had the right records. He had the right movies. He had the right television show. He had the right image. Okay. His image just now started getting remotely tarnished in the past 5 years. Up until then, he was America's the boy next door. Okay. Up until then, he was the boy next door. The big, tall, strong Muhammad Ali saved the world, saved Miami, saved everybody. Okay. All while getting the girls. He was that dude. Selling out. Who could I? Everybody else sold out. Selling out is
there's a long list.
It's a long list. Sexy Red, so she sold out. See, okay, here we go. Let me clear it up a little bit. When you can have the illusion of maintaining your standards and still do what you do, okay? I know Will wore a dress. He played gay a couple times, but he still that was a part of his plan, okay? It could be selling out. It could be considered selling out too, though. Let me rethink that for a minute. It could be a sellout move, but I ain't gonna go there. When you become a character that you had that's nowhere near your personality just to get the money. If they wanted to make me an old ass gangster, I'd be selling out. But if they bought me as I am, an old cat, they got a lot of game, a lot of knowledge, like to dress, like to drive his Cadillacs, and be who I am, run my clubs, that's buying in. Okay, y'all got some money for me finally? That's the difference. But if I got to change Lonzo to be somebody else, that's selling out. Okay?
Yeah. Broke it down nicely.
Boy,
Before we bring our guest on, I want to remind Go ahead, what were you going to say?
Our senior says it should be called diversity of the portfolio. diversity. I'm gonna put that on the screen. Diversity of the portfolio. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, throw that up there. Yes, any of you, one more time, I'm going to bring it up one more time. If you really want to support Lonzo, please go to Amazon Prime right now and check out the documentary that just was released this week on Eve After Dark. It is a great watch, especially from a West Coast hip-hop perspective. You will really love to see all of the early memories of West Coast hip-hop that can only be told by the man himself, Lonzo Williams. It's only $4.99 if you buy it, which I encourage you to do, or you can rent it for, I think, $2.99. But please go to Amazon Prime and run those numbers up. Go for it.
$199 is the rental price.
Oh, $199. Okay. Oh, perfect. Even better. Even better. Yeah. Let's bring him on. Floss Angeles, ladies and gentlemen. He has an interesting hip hop story. He was signed to Ice-T. He was on Eazy-E's last album. He has a cool story, man. What up, Floss? How you doing, dude?
What's up, Dusty? What's good, Alonzo? What's going on, y'all, man?
Hanging out, Doc. How you feeling?
Finally, good to meet you, Alonzo. You know what I'm saying? Like you, I come from. My mom is from the generation, y'all generation. They were both dancers on Soul Train. So a Current Affair and Sir Grams and all that stuff. I'm like, man, please, man. I was young. My mom allowed me to come with her. So all these names that you say, man, it just brings back a lot of memories, man, for real.
Right on, Doc. Much love. Glad to have you here, man.
Good.
Talk to me.
So what's up, Dust? Yeah. What's up, Dust?
Hey, Floss, you've been listening before we jump into your career and everything like that. What are some of your comments on what we discussed so far tonight? We talked about the Sexy Red thing, we talked about the KATT WILLIAMS thing, we talked about the Ice Cube versus MC Hammer thing. What are some of your thoughts on what we talked about already?
The Sexy Red thing, I've never really seen some like people that's gotten so far and you really don't know who they are. Like I've heard of her before, but I've seen her on SNL and I'm like, how she move up that fast? It takes a man. How they doing that? Because when like Lonzo said, it's like, people see, when you sell your soul is when you claim that you a gangster and then they have you play something else and you with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You all the way with it. That's not your character. That's when you sell it out. You're right. When you buy in is when they choose you because they like your character. You know what I'm saying? That's real talk.
Right.
Yeah, man. Well, you were born in Inglewood. How did you let's talk about your career, man. How did you get signed to
Oh man,
how did you get on Eazy-E's last album? Start with the Ice-T story.
Ice-T, we were already, I was in the group Himalayas, and so a friend of mine, my homegirl's gorgeous, named Sharky. She was messing with Ice at the time, and he had a show called Players on Channel 4 when he was playing the police somewhere right before Law and Order. And so we gave her our CD, not even really thinking about nothing. We just gave it to her, and so when she went to go see him, he was like, I want to meet him. So he knew us individually, but he didn't know that we had formed the group Himalayas. So when we seen us, he was like, "Bam, man, for Floss." He's like, "Man, we was already signed to Laylaw at the time. We was both because Law had his hand in Another Levels project, and then I was solo. So when we got in the group, we had already signed, as the Himalayas. And so rest in peace to Laylaw, man. You know what I'm saying? That's like one of my close dudes. He believes, and that's why I always big him up. But at the time, I was mad at Law because he had us in contract and we wasn't working. And so when we got it, Ice was like, "Who are y'all? If I wanted to sign y'all, who would be standing in the way of it?" And so me and Bam looked at each other. We was like, "Law." He's like, "Oh man, Law owes me a favor anyway." Boom, called Law on the phone, got our contract. You know what I'm saying? Off, and then we began working with Ice. But then when he had a record label on Hollywood Boulevard called Corner, like Corner. Like, so when we would have the record company jackets on, people be looking at us like, "Who died? Somebody died about it." It used to be crazy, man. And so when I seen him, he had called us. He had called me down here. He said, "Floss, get down here. I want to go see Ice." And he had his chair. He had a chair turned like this. And so when he turned around, his hair was cut off. And I was like, "What make you cut your hair off?" "Let me tell you something, Floss. I cut the hair off around my nuts for $500,000 an episode. They assigned me to Law and Order Special Victims Unit." I'm like, "Wow." Yeah, man. So Yeah, I did that, and then I wanted to speak on the thing what Lonzo was talking about as far as with KATT WILLIAMS earlier. KATT is that's where I seen him at, was at Hollywood Park Casino as a Cat in the Hat. That's what I seen him at. You know what I'm saying? And KATT always been funny, and he always been smart. He just told the truth on some shit. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? That's all it was.
Hey, Easy Steve wants to know what Lokester's been up to, or any of the other Intense Hustlers.
Oh, you know Loster?
Easy Steve said, yeah, that's from Easy Steve in the comments.
Oh yeah. I talk to Loster all the time. Loster's on my debut album, Los Angeles. Big up to Loster. You know what I'm saying? Big up to Loster. Yeah, I talk to him all the time. And Rhythm D, all of them. I talk to all of them.
Yeah, we just saw Rhythm recently.
Rhythm good. I call Rhythm, that's a small guy. I call him Alderman Davis. Yo, he's good though. Yeah.
Rhythm D is the one who did Real Mother FNGs, right?
Yeah. We did that. He did that, and then we also did. Rhythm put me on Eazy's album that's out called Impact of a Legend. It has a video game that came with it, and it's the discography of Eazy when he was at Compton and all that. So out of 8 songs, I'm on 5.5 of those songs. I feel blessed to be on that because I knew Eazy. My cousin used to tell me about Lonzo. My cousin Big Ron, that used to bodyguard for Eazy-E. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, he used to talk about Lonzo. And so, like, for real talk, like Lonzo was like the person like everybody was like somewhat scared of, like niggas be like, you know what I mean? Like, because he went with none of them shenanigans. You know what I mean? But Big Ron was Eazy bodyguard. That's how I was able to be around Eazy when he was alive. I used to be at the studio in Torrance. And Eazy was a good dude, man. He's a good dude, for real, for real.
Yeah, and you were on Easy 123, which is one of Easy Steve's favorite tracks in the chat right now. That's probably one of the more popular ones.
Yeah, Easy 123.
Talk to us about the whole process of how that came about. You said Rhythm B put you down. So Rhythm B put you down with that album. How did that all break down?
Yeah, they were Tamika and Rhythm. They were working on the Impact of a Legend album, and so I was happened to be around Rhythm a lot because we were working on my album at the same time. So he was like, "Floss, you want to be on these songs?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I want to be on the songs." So ended up on like 5.5 of the songs, like songs with Paperboy, the Diddy, and a lot of people that was messing with Eazy at the time, Roach Killer. The list goes on. It was they rushed this album, but I feel like the album was still dope. You know what I'm saying? The fact of it was Eazy's record, and it's been out for a while, but with no videos or nothing. But we should, hopefully, we'll do some new stuff on. I think that was the last of his songs too.
Okay. Now, in a past interview, someone mentioned on our program, and you and I talked about this behind the scenes, and you mentioned that you wanted to kind of talk about it as well. But when certain rappers' careers aren't really going the way they want them to, so they put on a costume. And what I mean by costume is they put on the Chuck Taylors, the Pendletons. They start sea walking.
Right.
Then their career eventually blows up. Most notably, allegedly, one of those, according to someone I interviewed back in the day, was Exhibit. And I'm saying this respectfully, and I don't know if it's true or not, but Exhibit was a backpacker, and then someone approached him and said, "Hey, put this on, walk with it and see and wear certain colors and things like that." And he went platinum. You wanted to kind of comment on that specifically.
I did want to comment
on that.
The fact that you had talked to Bam about it, Bam had a different relationship with Exhibit than I did. We went on the 30 city tour with Exhibit and Alcoholics and the Visionaries and Fight from Tribe Called Quest. It was cool, but at the end of the day, I'm not full swing banging, because music, if you're really doing music and you care about your music, you're not about to be on the front line like these youngsters is doing. That's why all of them is dead. So we knew at that time, that you can't do both. And if you was tired of this gangbanging and all this shenanigans, I was smart enough to know this was my scapegoat to get away from it if I chose to. Why bring it along with you? And so, I was in this when we performed in New Orleans. at the House of Blues. You know, I had the white tee on, the Philly hat. I mean, I had the Pittsburgh hat with the P on it. So after I get off stage, Exhibit and them like, hey, Floss, what that P stand for? And I'm like, what? Like, I can't believe, because at the end of the day, Exhibit ain't from LA. You know what I'm saying? He from, you know what I mean? His father was in, rest in peace to his father. Really, there ain't no shot I'm taking at Exhibit, but I'm just saying, if we gonna keep it all the way 100, we gonna keep it all the way 100. And so the fact that Exhibit did ask me, like, Floss, what that P stand for? I was like, it stand for Floss. It stand for player. At the end of the day, at that time, I was gangster. I was like, and if you want to get technical, stand for Pyro. You know what I'm saying? And so the niggas was looking like they couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe it. So I feel like, you know, the reason why you probably never heard of Floss Mode, a lot of people have heard of my music, then seen me, but I probably would have been bigger if I was a Crip. You know what I'm saying? If I was a Crip, I would have been out of here. But the fact of I can't help where I came from, it's not like I brought that with me. I just can't help where you came from. I got my homies Nipsey Hussle and all, and Nipsey, that's why I loved him before he had passed, because he didn't care about any of that. You know what I'm saying? But Exhibit did ask me that. He did, and he did. So that's why was my response. I was like, you know, who do you to gangbang on me? But you know, it's all good though. You know, it was many years ago. But I'm just saying, I'm gonna keep it 100 though.
Yeah, you know, I would love for you your point, Lonzo, on this too. You know, because I N.W.A. they quote and most members will probably agree that they put on a costume. You know, you knew them before anyone, Lonzo. Can you chime in on just the rappers quote putting on? And I'm just using costume as the best, you know, the best term.
You know what? It's a costume, but it's hard to call it a costume when they wear the same shit off the bus to the stage. Okay, you know what? As World Class Wrecking Crew, if you saw us come off the bus, we look totally different going on stage. But I watch videos all the time, and cats got the same shit. They was in the backstage smoking weed before they got, ain't no dressing, ain't no changing clothes. And
right.
and the same shit with the after party, got the same shit on. In fact, I was laughing because, like I mentioned earlier, I got clothes, costumes on display in various parts of the city because I got costumes. Okay, and as you move forward, and if you've been wearing your white t-shirt or your polo shirt, and that's not a costume per se, but that's what you perform in, you wore it to the arena, you walked on stage, performed in it, wore it to the after party. It ain't a costume, it's your clothes. And can you put that in a museum someplace because you got it funky? Okay, it's nothing to a white t-shirt. How can I say this white t-shirt or these chucks or these khakis are special because I wore them? Maybe, but it's not like they look like anything special when they do a display. And that's what separates old school from new school. You know, we always had to change clothes. We had to change the clothes before the gig and doing the show, and then changing something else sometime on the way back out.
That's real entertainer shit. Real entertainers are doing that.
So if you got one of my old funky,
you used to make your own shit too, right, Lonzo?
Huh?
Was a lot of your shit custom made?
All my shit was custom made. I got coats and jackets I made for specific tours. I had one suit that I did not get custom made, and it was one of my favorite. I bought it off of Melrose, and it was a silk suit, and it was baggy like a hammer suit, but it was kind of baggy pants. And I love that suit because I could wear it, and I could wear it a couple times if I wore t-shirts and a good pair of drawers without it getting funky. And when you're on the road, you ain't always got a chance. You ain't always got time to go to the cleaners to the laundromat. And the suit it cost me $400. That was the most expensive suit I ever bought at that time. It was $400. It was all silk, not lined the whole 9 yards. Fit me like a glove. Bought it off the rack. And my girlfriend, I came off a tour. She fell in love with the damn sweater with the top and did up. I wanted to kill her ass. Anyway,
Love it, dude. Hey, Floss, before we let you go, and before we let you pump anything up that you have coming up, you were really close with Gonzo, R.I.P. He was a rapper from Caution. He was also one of the earlier content creators. A lot of people don't give him his respects on the early content, meaning the YouTube videos that he was releasing back in the day. And he was one of the first on Instagram Live and all that stuff. He went to Seattle, Washington, I do believe, and he unexpectedly lost his life. Talk to us about your relationship with Gonzo, how you felt, when you heard that news, and any good memories of Gonzo.
I'm still broke up behind it, but one thing Gonzo did tell me right before he had passed, and he was like, "Floss, you're not," because he was out there dissing everybody, E40, Daz, Corrupt. He was dissing everybody, the Outlaws, everybody. I'm like, what is going on? And he said, "You still don't get it, huh, Floss?" And I'm like, "Get what?" He's like, "You still don't get it. Now that he's passed, I get it now." He was like, "Okay, you could be on the internet, you could be on your channel speaking positive or whatever. You could speak anything, just everything positive, and it's not going to get the same reception as it is if you spreading something just with a little bit of juice with it or negative. You feel me?" And so basically what like Charleston White is doing, say all this stuff, say all this malicious stuff that makes people want to kill you, have them gravitate and tune in, and then once you get everybody's attention, that's when you change and come with the positive. You know what I'm saying? The positive change is where they can't stop it. And so Gonzo was just about to be on that. I just feel like, man, I don't know, man. I just feel like this game is different. It's not fun no more than when it was when we was in the 90s and doing all this stuff. You know what I mean? We would go to Larry Parker's and we would go to, all the spots in LA and all that. You know what I mean? We still of the new. See, Alonzo and them's generation, they was through with it before we knew what to do with it. These are OGs, super OGs, the shit that these youngsters don't see that they're young, so it's in a young world. But they are all, hopefully, if God permits them, to get to this certain age to where you go and be about your health and be about your colon and doing all the things that you're supposed to be doing at this age. You're not going to be young forever. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I tune into Lonzo in y'all show, because it's informative. You can learn things. It's certain things you're supposed to know as a man. We didn't grow up with a lot of our fathers in our lives. So we kind of like gravitate towards some people that still got their sense of mind and own it. You know what I mean? And older than us. So that's why I tune into y'all show. I love y'all show, G.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate that.
Real
Thank
talk,
you, man. Thank you. Really do appreciate that, dog. Before we let you go, man, tell everybody, what you have coming up and what's next for Los Angeles.
Actually, I just got chosen to perform at the Super Bowl. They have like the little alternate things there with like the stages. I just got chosen for that. And so I'll be at the Super Bowl. But right now, I'm working on a book called Atlantafornia. Basically, when I moved from LA to Atlanta, like in 96 till 2013, 2012. So I need your help on that too, Alonzo, to show me like the steps of where I can go and go get this out. You know what I'm saying? Because it's definitely need to be out. I have a lot of things to say in that,
Connect, no problem.
No problem. I appreciate that, man. But yeah, man, I love y'all show, and just just to be on all this. I see all this killing. I feel like I'm a king and a don because I done seen all this stuff. I've been around Easy. I've been around Pac. I done seen Big. I done been around all these people, and I'm still here and alive. I'm broadcasting live from Lake Havasu. That's where I stay at. You know what I'm saying? I had to get out of LA because it's terrible. But hopefully we'll get it together. I've been telling everybody, all that Black don't vote this year until they give us our reparations. Real talk.
You said don't vote.
Okay.
Don't
okay.
Vote.
I'm not a fan of either of the candidates.
What we voting for? What they doing for us?
They want. I know you.
Well, I ain't no political expert, but it seems to me if we don't vote for somebody, whoever we don't vote for is going to be the goddamn president. If Trump can still be in the running after all the shit, meanwhile we not vote. Do you really want that motherfucker back in office?
No, I mean, what can we do? They say it's rigged. They say it's rigged. I'm just saying, like, we've been going through the same thing for year after year, every 4 years, man, and they don't never give us. How come they not giving us our reparations, but they want our votes?
I don't want any of those motherfuckers, to be honest, man. Like any 80-something-year-old guy.
I'm trying to figure out how
either of them.
300 million people. All we can do is 2 old motherfuckers. That's the best we can do.
Right?
Oh,
Come on.
Look at it, Lonzo. Lonzo, remember when the Mexicans had they uprising, they was shutting the Mexicans down for something. The Mexicans walked off. I think it took the white people about 3 or 4 days.
They walked off. When the Mexicans walked off, they walked off where they heard them at the business.
Right.
You couldn't get nothing done. Now, see, if you don't vote, that's just going to give the people that do vote more power. That's the only problem. When you don't vote, the people that do vote gonna get their way, and your vote, contrary to what they want you to believe, if your vote didn't have no power, they wouldn't be constantly trying to steal it from you. They jerry rig the different territories. They change it all the time. Your vote is not even guaranteed in the Constitution. So if it really didn't have no value, like we want to think it is, they wouldn't be finding ways to keep it away from you, Doc. And that's the part I stress.
Right. You're right.
Ain't nobody, you ain't never seen nobody steal no black hair in the barbershop. Motherfucker will break into a beauty shop to steal the goddamn fine. Ain't nobody run the barbershop. Give me all the hair on the ground. No, man, give me all the hair. No, because it has no value. It has no value. Anytime you have somebody
OG Steve.
Much love.
You're right.
Yes. Yeah, we got 2 weekends.
Yeah, to close it out, OG Steve says our choices are a crazy dude or Weekend at Bernie's. He says our choices are crazy dude or Weekend at Bernie's. There it is, man. Hey, Floss, dude, it's been a pleasure, home.
Man,
I look forward to staying in touch with you, man. Thank you so much for joining the show,
hey,
bro.
I'm gonna get in touch with you, Lonzo, about that book. I'm gonna get in touch with you on that. I appreciate y'all, man.
Get my hook up.
Shoot me an email and I'll connect you both.
All right.
For sure. That's what's up. All right, man. Go on.
Cool.
All right, that's just me and you, Doc. Just me and you. We're
always a good show, my man. Always a good show. Always a good show. One more time, if I may, Lonzo. One more time. If you guys really want to support the show, let's run those first week numbers up for Lonzo's documentary now on Amazon Prime. It's $1.99 if you want to watch it right now. Like, I want everybody, if you love the show, if you're down, follower, if you've been down, please, $1.99, go to Amazon Prime and watch it right now. It's a great watch from a West Coast hip hop history perspective. You will love it. That's all I got to say, Lonzo. What say you, my man?
For those who never heard of me, I'm the first one to put Dr. Dre in the surgery, stuck Ice Cube in the freezer until he got cold on the eve after dark, 50-yard line Super Bowl. When in the movie Straight Outta Compton, they played me like a hater of rap. Don't believe that Hollywood bullshit, because it was all cap. My history goes deeper than most of y'all will ever know. Just remember that N.W.A. stands for Not Without Alonzo. Peace, y'all.